Now, I want you to watch this very, very carefully. Look at what I'm doing. I lift up the controller and it flies. This controller has 6 degrees of freedom built into it as standard, with no external sensor required. So I can move this controller in 6 degrees of freedom using my hands as the entire input device. This standard feature controller will be packed in with every PlayStation 3. This controller allows me to really unlock the most incredible fluid movement in games, and for the game controller to really become part of my own body, but be based upon our industry standard de facto controller interface, which has been enjoyed by hundreds of millions of people over the years. So let's take a look at another demonstration. This one is actually operating as the controller should operate, as wireless. And I think it's in our Sony rulebook that whenever we introduce a new piece of hardware, we have to use a duck. So here is a demonstration of the duck, and you can see me moving it around, but I've also got more movement as well, where I can toss it up in the air. This is all built into the controller's X, Y, Z, and pitch, roll, and yaw lateral motion. Now this controller, in being Bluetooth, being wireless, is actually lighter than the analog controller shipped with PlayStation 2.
So Phil, how does it feel?
It feels incredibly intuitive, and I'm very excited not just for what this means for our game developers, but I'm so excited about what this means for the consumer and for their experience of PlayStation 3. I think it's a fantastic innovation.
Thank you, great. So thank you everyone for supporting. Thank you for supporting PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, and PlayStation 3. I'm looking forward to seeing exciting game applications and services with this controller. Thank you, everyone.
Ken, thank you very much. Truly a fantastic innovation that is really going to add to the PlayStation 3 success story. Finally, I have to make a slight confession and maybe a slight apology that we've had a sneak peek at this for a couple of weeks now, and we have been able to modify one of our games to really take advantage of this controller. And I'd like to share with you now Warhawk from Incognito. And here to demonstrate it for us is Dylan Job, the director and producer of Warhawk for PlayStation 3. Dylan. I'll move out of your way here. Great. Thank you very much, Dylan. Great demonstration.
Thank you.
Just scratching the surface of what this controller means for games. So, Dylan, before you go, share with the audience what you think this means for you as a game designer.
Well, it's incredibly exhilarating. The team and I are incredibly impressed with the sensitivity, the weight, everything about this new controller is what we were hoping for the PlayStation 3. And it marks an interesting moment for us because it allows us to change from static control mechanics to very kinetic control mechanics. And as a developer and a gamer, I'm incredibly excited about this possibility.
Dylan, thank you very much indeed
Thank
for
you.
sharing your game. That's great. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Don't you just love surprises? Isn't that the coolest thing? Back to cars.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Phil.